those tent dresses, stuffing Twinkies down my throat and belching like a sow in heat? That's reason enough right there to kill myself. Why don't you talk to Mr. Wainwright about it? Maybe he could tell you what you ought to do." Giggling, Heather poked her best friend in the world. "Besides, it'd give you a reason to talk to him, and he's such an incredible hunk. There ain't no point in it, that's why. I've got more guidance than I can stand right now. It's fate. There's nothing anyone can do. Oh, Carol Alice, I feel so sorry for you that I could just cry." Carol Alice handed a tissue to her best friend in the whole world. "How many aspirin tablets do you reckon it'll take to kill myself?" "Probably a whole bottle," Heather said, blinking. "You ought to get those coated ones that won't give you an upset stomach. I think I've got a coupon in my purse." Nothing, and I repeat, nothing ever happens in Maggody, Arkansas. The good citizens of Maggody, all 755 of them, counting household pets and a couple of dearly departeds out behind the Baptist church, would agree that the last event of any importance happened well over a year ago, and it wasn't worth talking about within a matter of weeks. Before that, the spiciest topic of conversation involved the night Hiram Buchanan's barn burned down, and a cheerleader got caught dashing out in flagrante delicto, smoldering panties in hand. That was a good 12 years ago. Other than that, we're talking 5-legged calves, brawls at the pool hall, and shenanigans under the straw of the swine barn at the county fair. Maggody isn't a quaint, picturesque little village in the Ozark Mountains, and it wouldn't qualify for a Norman Rockwell painting. The grand tour takes about 3 minutes, presuming you get caught by the one stoplight and have to sit and fume while a stray dog ambles across the highway. If you come in from the west, you'll see a few signs welcoming Rotarians, Kiwanians, and Lions, but the only members of local chapters are out behind the Baptist church I mentioned a while back, and not holding the sort of meetings most of us would prefer to attend. The bank branch is on the right, and the Voice of the Almighty Lord Assembly Hall on the left, followed by a bunch of boarded-up stores with blind, dusty windows. The pool hall's in there somewhere. You can see a smattering of broken beer bottles in the dust out front, and sometimes, on Sunday mornings, a drunk out there with them. After a few clumps of crabgrass and some telephone poles decorated with faded posters, you'll see Roy Stiver's Antiques and Collectibles, Buy, Trade, or Sell, on the left. I live upstairs in what would politely be called an efficiency flat, were anybody inclined to bother to call it anything. I call it cheap. Catty-corner to my apartment is the police department, a small red brick building with perky gingham cafe curtains across the window and 2 parking spaces out front with reserved signs in front of them. Competition's not real keen for the spaces. It has 2 rooms, known as the front room and the back room. It also has 2 doors, known as the front door and the back door. We are accurate in Maggody, if not especially inspired. Across from the PD is the Suds of Fun laundromat and the Quick Stop Shop, or Quick Screw, as we locals call it, owned by our illustrious mayor, Jim Bob Buchanan. His Honor and I have a history of ill will, but neither of us gives a hoot, especially during the summer months, when the town's hotter than a sauna turned on full blast, which it had been 3 months ago when I escaped for a few months. Too hot to hoot, so to speak. A little bit farther on the right, you'll see Ruby B's Bar and Grill, a bizarre pink building with a tile roof and a couple of rusty metal signs tacked onto the side that still promote Happy Days bread and Royal Crown Cola. I never cared for either myself. In one corner of the parking lot is a sign for the Flamingo Motel, although you won't see said motel since it's out behind the Bar and Grill. 6 units, usually rented by the hour. The locals call it the Stork Club, when they bother to call it anything at all. My mother, who happens to be the infamous Ruby B, lives in number 1. She offered to let me have number 2, but I felt obliged to decline her kind gesture. Listening to bed springs squeal half the night would make me crazier than I already am. Living next door to my mother would qualify.